There are a lot of leaks of the DJI Osmo Action 6 and DJI Neo 2, the expected next generation of DJI's hero-sized action camera, doing the rounds at the moment. Strangely, though, they don't all look the same. Nevertheless, in a year when arch competitor GoPro opted to put its energy into its new 360-degree camera, the GoPro Max 2, it's interesting that DJI, which also produced the Osmo 360 and the Osmo Nano action cameras, is still expected to offer a new standard-sized action camera. Judging by some of the leakers with good reputations, we can expect some quite significant updates too. One of the more prominent leaks came from Igor Bogdanov, who posts as Quadro News, showing a mock-up of the Action 6 with a large 6 under an EF/2.0 to f/4.0 variable aperture lens. That variable aperture piece is interesting because it hints at far more control in different lighting conditions than we've seen in typical action cams. The discussion is also of a 1.1-inch image sensor, which would further boost the camera line's reputation in low light. The 1.3-inch sensor in the Action 5 Pro is already larger than the competition from GoPro, so this is a significant selling point for DJI. Design-wise, the images show that the model pictured has a small black square beneath the right side of the front touchscreen. Conversely, YouTuber TechAvid posted images of a device that looks similar in many ways but appears to have a different black bar beneath the front touchscreen. The disparity between the images circulated suggests that they might not all have come from the final design, or at least one of them might not have. But in either case, there is clearly a change. The Action 5 Pro, and earlier models, do not feature anything beneath the screen like that. The rumors also touch on battery life, film simulation features, and AI enhancements to image stabilization systems, all doing the rounds on platforms like Weibo, Chinese social media. Many of those items are still hard to confirm in advance, but they add to the excitement. Rumors suggest a 4-hour battery life for 4K capture in some settings, which would represent a big jump. Other feature prospects, which admittedly sound a little like a wish list too, that the rumors seem to agree on include waterproofing to around 20 meters per 66 feet without a housing, a price point similar to the previous version, and the prospect that the camera will be announced this week or soon. Although, as the commenters point out, the suggested day, Friday, would be a first for DJI, which traditionally does product reveals on other days. So, if you're a content creator, a vlogger, or someone who uses action cams for travel, adventure sports, or social media capture, the Osmo Action 6 appears to be positioning itself as not just a modest upgrade, but potentially a leap forward. The larger sensor, variable aperture, enhanced stabilization, improved connectivity, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and other subtle refinements all seem to point toward DJI trying to not just keep up with GoPro, but challenge the market leader. Will it succeed? That remains to be seen once formal specs are released, but the leaks are compelling. Turning now to the drone side of things, the DJI Neo 2 is increasingly coming into view with more confirmation that it's arriving in November 2025. Why more confirmation? Because earlier reports, such as one in September 2025, already mentioned that the announcement was about to happen in November 2025, and since then, new FCC battery filings and other leaks have stacked up. The embargo date for release is expected to lift on January 15, 2026, meaning official public availability might follow shortly after. This is not just another small drone. The Neo 2 builds on the original Neo's beginner appeal. But don't let the palm-sized design fool you. It appears to have dynamic capabilities of tiny FPV, first-person view, and Cinewhoop-style capture. The compact body, propeller guards all around, and sub-250-gram weight target are aimed at content creators who need agility, indoor performance, and minimal registration hassles in many jurisdictions. The flight envelope being targeted seems to be about making aggressive indoor cinematography, quick transitions, and creative motion capture easier, rather than just boring fly and hover shots. In terms of specs, the leaks are already quite detailed. A new 1,660 mAh battery pack, up from approximately 1,435 mAh, promises around 20 to 25 minutes of flight time in normal usage, a meaningful improvement. Performance enhancements include level 5 wind resistance, a maximum speed around 16 meters per second in sport mode, and an 0.4 transmission system capable of up to 10-kilometer range. Smart flying features seem robust. AI-driven tracking, loaded with Active Track 6.0, gesture and voice controls, and RC motion controller compatibility for FPV-style capture. Camera and storage rumors list a 1/1.3-inch CMOS sensor, 4K/60 frames per second video, 10-bit HDR, D-Log M profile, and around 22 gigabytes of internal storage. All of these tweaks transform the Neo 2 into a versatile tool for aerial videography, social media content, and beginner FPV adventures, all in a compact form. Design-wise, leaks also emphasize improved safety, particularly redesigned propeller guards to reduce crash or flyaway risk, and maintaining the lightweight classification less than 250 grams to make regulatory compliance easier in many markets. That's a smart move, given that one of the barriers for many creators is legal, regulatory burden rather than purely technical specs. The improved battery capacity, better stabilization, and expanded smart features suggest DJI wants to appeal not just to hobbyists, but to semi-pro creators who previously might have looked to larger drones. As for timing and availability, while a lot depends on supply chain, regulatory certification, and regional rollout, the November 2025 announcement window seems increasingly likely. Pricing is still only speculative, but leaks suggest a positioning that remains within reach of content creators rather than purely high-end pros. When it lands, the Neo 2 looks like it might offer a miniature cinematic drone experience at a more approachable form factor. In summary, the Neo 2 appears to be DJI's answer to the demand for highly mobile, creative, content-centric drones that can function in tight spaces, indoors, or in more dynamic environments where traditional large drones struggle. What links both the Osmo Action 6 and the Neo 2 is a clear trend. DJI is moving beyond incremental tweaks and aiming for meaningful upgrades. In the Action 6, we see the promise of significantly improved image quality, better low-light performance, smart integrations, smartwatch control, for example, and refined design. In the Neo 2, we see a compact drone built for the era of social media video, motion capture, indoor expert moves, and creator-first thinking. For someone deciding whether to wait versus buy now, the decision depends on how much you push the boundaries of what your gear currently allows. If you're a casual user, the previous generation, Action 5 Pro or original Neo, already delivers. If you're pushing for low-light action cams or capturing creative indoor/FPV drone videos, then both of these upcoming models merit serious attention. One thing to keep in mind: leaks are still leaks. Specs might change, pricing might adjust, and availability could vary by region. But if DJI nails what is implied in these leaks, the Action 6 and Neo 2 will both mark meaningful steps forward in their categories.